Unit 6 Quiz. 1. The basic requirements for a valid conveyance are governed by. Answer: state law. 2. Every deed must be signed by. Answer: the grantor. 3. A 15-year-old recently inherited a parcel of real estate and has decided to sell it. If the 15-year-old executes a deed conveying the property to a purchaser, such a conveyance would be. Answer: voidable. 4. A form authorizing one person to execute documents for another is called. Answer: a power of attorney. 5. The grantee receives greatest protection with what type of deed? Answer: general warranty. 6. Yolanda receives a deed from Xavier. The granting clause of the deed states, I hereby remise, release, alienate, and convey to Yolanda the following real property. What type of deed has Yolanda received? Answer: special warranty. 7. Under the covenant to obtain of quiet enjoyment, a grantor. Answer: ensures that the title will be good against the title claims of third parties. 8. Which type of deed merely implies but does not specifically warrant that the grantor holds good title to the property? Answer: bargain and sale. 9. At which of the following steps did title to the house actually transfer or pass to Brandon? Step 1. Aaron decided to convey a house to Brandon. Step 2. Aaron signed a deed transferring title to Brandon. Step 3. Aaron gave the signed deed to Brandon, who accepted it. Step 4. Brandon took the deed to the county recorder's office and had it recorded. Answer: step 3. 10. Patrick signed a deed transferring ownership of Patrick's house to Quincy. To provide evidence that Patrick's signature was genuine, Patrick executed a declaration before a notary. This declaration is known as. Answer: an acknowledgement. 11. Title to real estate may be transferred during a person's lifetime by. Answer: involuntary alienation. 12. A resident of Denver bought acreage in a distant county, never went to see the acreage, and did not use the ground. An artist moved a mobile home onto the land, had a water well drilled, and lived there for 22 years. The artist may become the owner of the land if the artist is in compliance with the state law regarding. Answer: adverse possession. 13. Eminent domain and escheat are two examples of. Answer: involuntary alienation. 14. A deed contains a promise that the title conveyed is good and a promise to obtain and deliver any documents necessary to ensure good title. This deed contains an example of which covenant? Answer: further assurances. 15. A deed contains a guarantee that the grantor will compensate the grantee for any loss resulting from the title's failure in the future. This is an example of which covenant? Answer: warranty forever. 16. A person who has died without a will has died. Answer: intestate. 17. Title to real estate can be transferred upon death by what type of document? Answer: will. 18. An owner of real estate was declared legally incompetent and was committed to a state mental institution. While institutionalized, the owner wrote and executed a will. The owner died while still institutionalized and was survived by a spouse and 3 children. The real estate will pass. Answer: according to the state laws of descent. 19. Generally, where does a probate proceeding involving real property take place? Answer: in both the county where the decedent resided and the county in which the property is located. 20. A deed states that the grantors are conveying all their rights and interests to the grantees to have and to hold. This is communicated in. Answer: the habendum clause. Unit 7 Quiz.
Unit 7 Quiz. 1. A title search in the public records may be conducted by. Answer: anyone. 2. Which statement best explains why instruments affecting real estate are recorded? Answer: recording gives constructive notice to the world of the rights and interests claimed in the identified parcel of real estate. 3. A purchaser went to the county building to check the recorder's records, which showed that the seller was the grantee in the last recorded deed and that no mortgage was on record against the property. The purchaser may assume which of the following? Answer: the seller did not mortgage the property. 4. The date and time a document was recorded to help establish which of the following? Answer: priority. 5. A buyer bought a house, received a deed, and moved into the residence but neglected to record the document. 1 week later, the seller died and the heirs in another city, unaware that the property had been sold, conveyed title to a relative, who recorded the deed. Who owns the property? Answer: the buyer. 6. A property with encumbrances that will outlast the closing. Answer: cannot be sold. 7. Which of the following would not be acceptable evidence of ownership? Answer: deed to the current owner signed by the last seller. 8. Chain of title is most accurately defined as. Answer: the record of a property's ownership. 9. A seller delivered title to a buyer at closing. A title search had disclosed no serious defects, and the title did not appear to be based on doubtful questions of law or fact or to expose the buyer to possible litigation. The seller's title did not appear to present a threat to the buyer's quiet enjoyment, and the title insurance policy provided was sufficient to convince a reasonably well-informed person that the property could be resold. The title conveyed would commonly be referred to as. Answer: marketable title. 10. The person who prepares an abstract of title for a parcel of real estate. Answer: searches public records and then summarizes the event and proceedings that affect title. 11. Homeowners are frantic because they want to sell their property and the deed is missing. Which of the following is true? Answer: they do not need the original deed if it has been recorded. 12. Mortgagee title policies protect which parties against loss? Answer: lenders. 13. Which of the following are traditionally covered by a standard title insurance policy? Answer: improperly delivered deeds. 14. A written summary of the history of all conveyances and legal proceedings affecting a specific parcel of real estate is called. Answer: an abstract of title. 15. Which of the following is not covered by a standard title insurance policy? Answer: unrecorded rights of parties in possession. 16. Documents referred to as title evidence include. Answer: policies of title insurance. 17. All of the following are true regarding public records except. Answer: they guarantee marketable title. 18. Aaron sells a portion of property to Brandon. Brandon promptly records the deed in the appropriate county office. If Aaron tries to sell the same portion of property to Charlie, which of the following statements is true? Answer: Charlie has been given constructive notice of the prior sale because Brandon promptly recorded the deed. 19. The best reason for a buyer to obtain title insurance is. Answer: to ensure that the seller can deliver marketable title. 20. A mortgagee received a title insurance policy on the property a buyer is pledging as security for the mortgage loan. Which of the following is true? Answer: the amount of coverage is commensurate with the loan amount. Unit 8 Quiz. 1. Which statement best explains this sentence? To recover a commission for brokerage services, a broker must be employed by a client? Answer: the client must make an express or implied agreement to pay a commission to the broker. 2. Sales associates who are paid in a lump sum and who are personally responsible for paying their own taxes are probably treated for tax purposes as. Answer: independent contractors. 3. A sales associate's contract with her broker states that she is not an employee. In the past year, less than half her income was commission, with the rest an hourly wage paid by the broker. The IRS would classify her as. Answer: an employee. 4. When acting as an employee rather than an independent contractor, a sales associate may be obligated to. Answer: work set hours. 5. Terry is the personal assistant of a real estate sales associate. Terry must be paid by the broker who employs the sales associate. This means that. Answer: Terry has a real estate license. 6. A broker would have the right to dictate which of the following to an independent contractor? Answer: conduct in compliance with statutory law and regulations. 7. 2 real estate professionals were found guilty of conspiring with each other to allocate real estate brokerage markets. A seller suffered an estimated $90,000 loss because of their activities. If the seller brings a civil suit against the 2 real estate professionals, what can the seller expect to recover? Answer: $270,000 plus attorney's fees and costs. 8. 2 sales associates who work for the same firm agree to divide their town into a northern region and a southern region. One sales associate will handle listings in the north, and the other will handle listings in the south. Which statement is true? Answer: the agreement does not violate antitrust laws. 9. A state has recently updated its rules and regulations for the real estate profession. Which statement is most likely true regarding this update? Answer: the rules and regulations have the same force and effect as the license law itself. 10. A realtor is best described as an individual who is. Answer: a real estate licensee and a member of the National Association of Realtors. NAR. 11. A broker has established the following office policy: all listings taken by any sales associate of this real estate brokerage must include compensation based on a 7% commission. No lower commission rate is acceptable. If the broker attempts to impose this uniform commission requirement, which statement is true? Answer: the broker may, as a matter of office policy, legally set the minimum commission rate acceptable for the firm. 12. A real estate company has adopted a 100% commission plan. The monthly desk rent required of sales associates is $1,500, payable on the last day of the month. In August, a sales associate closed a transaction that earned a commission of $11,370 and a second transaction that earned a commission of $6,875. The sales associate's additional expenses for the month were $2,170. How much of the total monthly income did the sales associate keep? Answer: $14,575. 13. A sales associate took a listing on a house that sold for $329,985. The commission rate was 5%. A sales associate employed by another broker found the buyer. The seller's broker received 60% of the commission on the sale. The buyer's broker received 40%. If the seller's broker kept 30% and paid the seller's sales associate the remainder, how much did the seller's sales associate earn on this sale? Answer: $6,929.68. 14. On the sale of any property, a sales associate's compensation is based on the total commission paid to the broker. The sales associate receives 30% of the first $2,500, 40% of the next amount between $2,500 and $7,500, and 50% of any remaining amount exceeding $7,500. If a property sells for $234,500 and the broker's commission rate is 6.5%, what is the sales associate's total compensation? Answer: $6,621.25. 15. The federal law that makes contracts originated, negotiated, and executed over a combination of computer and cell phone enforceable is. Answer, UETA. 16. The amount of commission paid to a sales associate is determined by. Answer, mutual agreement with broker. 17. A broker was accused of violating antitrust laws. Of the following, the broker was most likely accused of. Answer, price fixing. 18. A real estate broker was responsible for a chain of events that resulted in the sale of a client's property. This is called. Answer, procuring cause. 19. A sales associate wants to be classified by the IRS as a qualified real estate agent, the equivalent of holding independent contractor status for tax purposes. The sales associate must meet all of the following requirements except. Answer, perform all work unsupervised by the managing broker. 20. A real estate sales associate, classified by the IRS as an independent contractor, receives. Answer, a negotiated share of commissions on transactions. Unit 9 Quiz. 1. In a real estate transaction, the term fiduciary typically refers to. Answer, the agent's relationship to the principal. 2. The relationship between real estate broker and seller is generally what type of agency? Answer, special. 3. Which statement is true of a real estate broker acting as the agent of the seller? Answer, the broker is obligated to render loyalty to the seller. 4. A real estate broker lists a home for sale for $189,500. Later that same day, a prospective buyer comes into the broker's office and asks for general information about homes for sale in the $130,000 to $140,000 price range but refuses representation by the broker's company at this time. Based on these facts, which statement is true? Answer, the seller is the broker's client, the buyer is a customer. 5. In a dual agency situation, if it is permitted by state law, a broker may represent both the seller and the buyer in the same transaction provided. Answer, both parties consent in writing to the dual agency. 6. Which event will terminate an agency in a broker-seller relationship? Answer, the owner declares personal bankruptcy. 7. Designated agency is most likely to occur when? Answer, the buyer and the seller are represented by the same company. 8. A real estate broker hired by an owner to sell a parcel of real estate must comply with. Answer, all lawful instructions of the owner. 9. Which of the following is not a valid reason to terminate an agency relationship? Answer, the buyer wanted to work with a new agent, but the terms of agency had not yet expired and the current agent did not agree to terminate. 10. A seller tells his agent in confidence that he must sell fast and may accept less than the list price. The agent tells a buyer the seller will accept up to $5,000 less than the list price. Which is true? Answer, disclosure was improper and possibly illegal, regardless of the agent's motive. 11. A buyer who is a client of the broker wants to purchase a house that the broker has listed. Which statement is true? Answer, the seller and the buyer must be informed of the situation and agree in writing to the brokers representing both of them. 12. What does the phrase "the law of agency is a common law doctrine" mean? Answer, it is part of a body of law established by tradition and court decisions. 13. A broker helps a buyer and a seller with paperwork but does not represent either party. This relationship is. Answer, a transactional brokerage. 14. A real estate sales associate represents a buyer. At their first meeting, the buyer reveals plans to operate a dog grooming business out of the purchased house. The sales associate did not check the local zoning ordinances to determine in which parts of town such a business could be conducted. Which common law duty did the sales associate violate? Answer, care. 15. A broker tells a buyer, "This home has the most beautiful river view." In fact, the view includes the river and the back of a shopping center. Which is true? Answer, the broker is merely puffing. 16. A real estate broker's responsibility to keep the principal informed of all the facts that might affect a transaction is the duty of. Answer, disclosure. 17. Which of the following is considered dual agency? Answer, a broker acting for both parties in the same transaction. 18. The relationship of broker to client in an agency relationship is that of. Answer, a fiduciary. 19. A real estate broker acting as the agent of the seller. Answer, must promote and safeguard the seller's best interests. 20. A broker is permitted to represent both the seller and the buyer in the same transaction when. Answer, both parties have been informed and agree in writing to the dual representation. Unit 10 Quiz. 1. A property listing taken by a real estate sales associate is technically an employment agreement between the seller and. Answer, the broker. 2. Which of the following is a similarity between an exclusive agency listing and an exclusive right to sell listing? Answer, both types of listings are open listings. 3. The listing agreement on a residential property states that it expires on May 2nd. Which event would terminate the listing before that date? Answer, on April 15th, the owner and agent cancel the agreement. 4. A seller listed a property with a broker under an exclusive agency listing agreement. If the seller finds a buyer, the seller will owe the broker. Answer, no commission. 5. A broker sold a residence for $485,000 and received $26,675 as commission in accordance with the terms of the listing agreement. What was the broker's commission rate? Answer, 5.5%. 6. Under a brokerage agreement with a property owner, the broker is entitled to sell the property for any price, as long as the seller receives $85,000. The broker may keep any amount over $85,000 as a commission. This type of listing might be illegal and is called. Answer, a net listing. 7. Which of the following is a similarity between an open listing and an exclusive agency listing? Answer, under each, the seller avoids paying the broker a commission if the seller sells the property to someone the broker did not procure. 8. The final decision on a property's asking price should be made by. Answer, the seller. 9. Which statement is true of a listing agreement? Answer, it is an employment contract for the professional services of the broker. 10. A broker sold a property that was owned by a bank that had acquired it through foreclosure, and the broker received a 6.5% commission. The broker gave the listing sales associate $3,575, which was 30% of the firm's commission. What was the selling price of the property? Answer, $183,333. 11. A seller hired a broker under the terms of an open listing agreement. While that agreement was still in effect, the seller, without informing the first broker, hired another broker from a separate firm under an exclusive right to sell listing for the same property. If the first broker produces a buyer for the property whose offer the seller accepts, the seller must pay a full commission to. Answer, both brokers. 12. A seller listed a residence with a broker. The broker brought an offer at full price in terms of the listing agreement from a buyer who was ready, willing, and able to pay cash for the property, but the seller rejected the buyer's offer. In this situation, the seller. Answer, owes a commission to the broker. 13. A buyer signed an agreement with a broker to compensate the broker even if the buyer purchases the property from a relative. This is called. Answer, an exclusive buyer representation agreement. 14. A prospective buyer signs an agreement with a broker to find a property for the buyer, and the buyer agrees to work only with that broker while this agreement is in effect. Answer: the broker can represent other buyers. 15. A seller sold property to a neighbor without the services of a real estate broker. However, the seller still owes a broker a commission because the seller signed. Answer: an exclusive right to sell listing agreement. 16. Most states require that a real estate listing agreement contain. Answer: a definite contract termination date. 17. Which type of listing is prohibited in some states? Answer: net listing. 18. By executing a listing agreement with a seller, a real estate broker becomes. Answer: obligated to open a special trust account. 19. The provision in a contract with a property seller that gives additional authority to the broker and obligates the broker to alert other brokers to the availability of the property is. Answer: a multiple listing clause. 20. All of the following are valid reasons for terminating a buyer representation agreement except. Answer: death of the sales associate worked with the buyer.